Welcome to Behind the Bell with your hosts, Matt Dacorte and Bill Thompson.
Ladies and gentlemen, pro wrestling fans, my name is Matt Dacorte. I am the voice of Paradise Alley Professional Wrestling, and joining me, as always, is my good friend and yours, Paradise Alley Pro Wrestling referee, Bill Thompson. And Bill, I see you got your mask on here because unfortunately, folks, we know it's been a while since you've last seen us, and the COVID-19 pandemic has been running wild, Bill, has it not?
Matt.
I'm sorry?
Oh, I'm sorry, Matt. Hold on.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Thank you. Now we can hear each other. Just so you know, we both have been tested.
Yes, we have.
And we're both negative, and I am not pregnant. So that's good.
I'd be very surprised if you were pregnant. I'd be probably more surprised if you were pregnant than having COVID-19.
That is true. That is true. So, yes, we're back together again, Matt.
Yes, we are. The dynamic duo is back, and we have another edition of Behind the Bell for all of you, our Paradise Alley Pro Wrestling fans. Unfortunately, due to the circumstances, we have not had an event in a few months, but we have a lot of exciting things in store. So we're going to recap where things were and where things are going. And we're also going to have an exclusive match for you guys, because we know that even though you can't come to us, we will bring Paradise Alley Pro Wrestling to you. So, Bill, the last event we had was Under Pressure.
Under Pressure.
It was a tremendous two-night event. And once again, fans, thank you all for coming out and supporting us. Thank you for following the protocols during the COVID era. We wouldn't have been able to do it without your support, without you following the rules. So we thank you very much for that. We certainly hope you enjoyed. And Bill, let's start out by some of the major things that happened at the two events.
Yeah, I tell you, you know what, Matt? It was I think the title says it, Under Pressure. You know, we had an amazing show. The fans were the energy in that show. The fan show was outstanding. We followed all the protocols that we needed to follow. Everybody just did what they had to do, including the talent that night.
Absolutely. And there was one thing that, you mentioned the talent did what they had to do, and there was one thing that was a little confusing to me, Bill, was one Maxim Morozov. At the prior events to Under Pressure, we had seen Maxim Morozov come out. We thought he was turning over a new leaf.
That's what we thought.
And lo and behold, he's back with Collusion, back with his old running mate, Zafar Al-Rahihi, who is the new United States champion.
Yeah.
And Bill, what do you make of that whole situation? Because it's been very confusing to me.
All I could say is that I was disappointed. You and I talked about it that night. We really felt that maybe there was something good coming out of this, and that Morozov was going to really be a force of good and help some of the younger talent and work well. But he had us fooled. I hate to say it, the pyramids of power, they pulled the wool over everybody's eyes, and now we got a new champion, and we're back to where they were before, creating havoc and, terrorizing the roster.
Well, I tell you what, mental warfare is a big part of professional wrestling, and Maxim Morozov must be a master of that, because he had you and I fooled, and I'm sure he had a lot of the fans fooled as well. But another thing that happened is we saw the return of Richard Holliday to Paradise Alley Professional Wrestling.
Yes.
MLW superstar coming back, facing a very tough competitor in Dame. That was a very back and forth match, very exciting match.
Yes.
It's always fun to see Richard Holliday compete. And, Dame, he's very, I don't want to say controversial, but...
eccentric.
There you go. That's a great word,
Eccentric.
Bill. Thank you very much.
He's the modern day Adrian Street.
That's a very good comparison,
Thank
Bill.
you so very much. I tell you, I watched that match, and I was very, very impressed. I mean, Richard Holliday just never ceases to amaze me in the ring. I mean, I started here as a referee when he was really kind of just starting to get himself going in the motivation and the things he does. And, working out there, being all over the country, he is the Caribbean champion for MLW.
Self-proclaimed, as some might say.
Self-proclaimed, but, still, he's got a belt, so it looks good. But, yeah, again, never disappoints. And I'll tell you, he's improved his arsenal of moves, and I think I don't know, a couple of years, we could be seeing him some places that we get to watch on national TV, on a national spotlight. So
Absolutely, and the sky is the limit for Richard Holiday. But part of what made that match great was Dame as well, because even though he is eccentric, even though he can be off-putting to the fans, he is no doubt a tremendous competitor, ton of talent, and that's, I think, what made that match so great, Bill.
Yeah, he never disappoints anybody. He's wrestled for us a number of times, and he always puts on a great show. Love him or hate him, he definitely is very entertaining in the ring. I've been lucky enough to be in there with a few times. He's kept me entertained. So yeah, again, a great match. It was a great night. Great nights.
But unfortunately, I don't think it was a great night for the Haven.
No.
Sean and Jay, they have made a huge splash in Paradise Alley Professional Wrestling. Former tag team champions here at PAPW. They want those championship titles back, but unfortunately the House of Pain played a little mind games of their own with them.
Yes.
We thought we were going to see the Haven taking on the House of Pain for the titles, which we eventually did get, but the House of Pain made the Haven face the Handsome Devils first in a very tough match.
Very tough match.
The Haven were able to get through it, but by the time the match was over, the House of Pain came out and they said, guess what? Your match against us is right now. And the Haven were battered. Like I said, it was a very physical match with the
very
Handsome
physical
Devils.
match, yes.
And Bill, what did you make of that entire situation?
Yeah, it goes to show the wily veterans that the House of Pain are and continue to be. They set up those roadblocks. They're the champions for a reason. We've talked about this a number of times. Is that they set the table. This game is a chess match, and they put the pieces on the table. And the Haven, a very young, good team, amazing in the ring, getting better each time. But it's that experience level that they're just lacking enough, where the House of Pain sets it up, and then they just knock them down.
Absolutely, and knock down the Haven, the House of Pain did indeed do. But once again, that was because the Haven were already, they were hurting. They had been through a very tough match, and the odds were stacked against them. And I have to say, the Haven did put on a very spirited effort. There were a couple moments where I thought they might have had Nick Payne and Hakeem Ali. But once again, the three-time longest reigning PAPW Tag Team Champions prevailed and once again defended their belts, Bill.
Yeah, this, you put it in this context, this is sometimes just inches in seconds in wrestling, and, it's that 3 count that ultimately, with your shoulders down. And, again, the House of Pain, they know what they're doing. They have been the champions multiple times, as you said, and they're champions for a reason, and the Haven did win championship at one point, but they've never defeated the House of Pain themselves.
That is correct, Bill. So we'll see what's going on with that. Will the Haven get another shot? Will the House of Pain move on to other things? That's one of the things you're going to have to stay tuned to find out, fans. And speaking of staying tuned, one of the reasons why we love Paradise Alley Professional Wrestling, Bill, is that we see new faces and we see some familiar faces come through that we may have not seen in a while. A few of those faces that came through, guys like Jiggy Sosa came back for Under Pressure.
Yes.
Great to see the high-flying star back here in the Paradise Alley Professional Wrestling ring.
100%.
Absolutely. And another person is the great Nuka. Yes, he comes out, he's got the mask, he's got the mist, and love him or hate him, he's been on a big winning streak here at Paradise Alley Professional Wrestling, Bill.
Yeah, I've been in the ring with Nuka a number of times, and he has continued to improve each time, and he's got that, we talk about it, it's that old school kabuki, Great Muta kind of look. His moves are very impressive in the ring, and as you watch him, he's getting better, and he's getting a lot more brutal. The matches that he does, the strikes that he has, the kicks, the agility, the mobility in the ring is definitely something. If you're sleeping on him in the ring, you're definitely gonna end up with your shoulders down and the 1, 2, 3. And he's got that variable. We all know it as referees. You never know when that mist is going to come out, and sometimes you see it, sometimes you don't. But at the end of the day, it's all about the wins. And he, as you said, is on a roll.
He absolutely is, and he could be the total package, folks. He's got the mystique. He's got the very powerful strikes that Bill mentioned. He has the agility, speed, technique. he could be a force to be reckoned with moving forward in Paradise Alley Professional Wrestling. But let me tell you what, Bill, talk about moving forward. In the main event of night 2 of Under Pressure, one Paradise Alley Professional Wrestling original, Dustin Flash Waller, took a huge step forward.
Yes.
Outlasted and defeated 3 other competitors in the second ever ladder match in Paradise Alley Professional Wrestling, and he became the new Alley Fights champion.
Yeah, truly an amazing night for an amazing young competitor. You know, we have both seen him from the first match that he had here at Paradise Alley Professional Wrestling. And that night was special. You could just feel something in the air, and I think we had talked about that earlier. You just felt that energy. The fans had been away for a while. Flash has been training diligently, and not to take anything else away from the other competitors.
Absolutely
But you
not.
just felt that night. There was just a little something where you're like, this kid can do it. And he did. And I'll tell you what, when you talk about pandemonium, when he got that belt, pandemonium, you know, some of the younger wrestlers coming out to the ring and jumping in there, that kind of capped off that night where, you know, I'll tell you right now, I'm getting goosebumps just talking about it. And just a really super young man. And you know what? I think you got a lot of great things in the future for him. And who knows? You know, maybe he could get 2 belts. We'll call them Flash 2 belts.
Absolutely. And Bill, you mentioned it. You know, part of the reason that I love doing what I do at Paradise Alley Professional Wrestling is that after I do the work that I need to do in the ring, I get to get out of the ring and sit down and take everything in as a fan.
Yes.
And it was a very special moment seeing Flash with the Alley Fights Championship and see his the people that he came up with, the Haven, Kylon King, come out.
Yes.
And let me tell you what, those 4 guys, along with many others that we haven't seen yet and some we have at the Paradise Alley Pro Wrestling Training Facility, you know, the sky is the limit for these guys. These guys improve leaps and bounds, and the future is bright for these Paradise Alley Professional Wrestling originals, Bill.
I think you mentioned the Flash Waller, the Kylon King, the Haven. Those are the young lions. So, you know, Paradise Alley has got some good talent, and I think the new year, you know, once we get through COVID, I think you're going to see some very special things going on.
Absolutely. And folks, we're going to let you know what Paradise Alley Pro Wrestling has in store in 2021. But first, Bill, Under Pressure went great, but it didn't go without a few problems. And one of those problems was that we had some technical difficulties on night 1.
We did.
Unfortunately, we did, Bill.
Damn it.
Folks, it happens sometimes.
It
We're
does.
sorry. But the good news is that if you weren't here, we have an exclusive match here for you on Behind the Bell. And Bill, that match is Team España, Jose and Jose B.
Hey.
Bill's a big fan of Team
I
España.
am.
He likes to get in the groove when they come out.
Oh, I think I threw my back out, but I'm all right.
We hope Bill Thompson is all right, everybody. But in the meantime, Team España took on The Firm, Elijah Six, and Sammy Diaz that night.
Shh, you don't want to give it away what happens.
I will not give it away because, folks, we are going to have that match for you right now. So if you didn't get the chance to see it, you will get to see this tremendous tag team match. Enjoy.
You ready, Pete? You ready, Pete? Yes! Look at that! You might be related, Papa. I don't know about that. We don't relate. They can definitely be our cousin. I don't even know what they said. I'm about to get slapped. Here we go!
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we certainly hope you enjoyed that match between Team Hispania and the Firm. Bill, I know you and I both enjoyed that match quite a bit.
Yeah, you know what, Matt? Again, Team España, the excitement and energy from the crowd is truly amazing. Matt, are they from East Haven, Connecticut now?
You know what, Bill? I think it's they're originally from the barrios of Spain, but I think they've been so successful that they've been able to acquire properties in multiple different locations because they seem to be the hometown favorites everywhere they go.
I know. I'm surprised, but you know what? Another win for Team España and a very impressive win against the tremendously talented and hard-hitting team of the Firm.
Absolutely, Bill. And you mentioned hard-hitting. Elijah Six of the Firm, one of the hardest-hitting competitors in Paradise Alley professional wrestling today. The ace, Sammy Diaz, he can do it all. Technical wrestling, agility, he's got
it all.
A lot and to offer. And the Paradise Alley Pro Wrestling Tag Team division in general is just full of tremendous teams now, Bill.
Yeah, you have to say is that the tag team division here has heated up over, I would say, the last 6 months to a year. You know, the talent that's come in from you know, other promotions that have, you know, worked with us. You have to say is that again the tag team division is hot, and I think I've got a sneaking suspicion with the upcoming new year, Matt. I think you're going to see a lot of action with the tag teams.
Absolutely. And speaking of the new year, we're going to have a little bit of a new look in the new year, Bill, because
a new look?
Absolutely.
Wow.
Because Paradise Alley Professional Wrestling is debuting a brand new logo, Bill.
Wow.
And I've seen the design, and let me tell you what, folks, it pops.
Oh, is it, as the kids say, lit?
It is lit, as the kids say. It is. If it was a song, it would slap, as the kids these days
I
say.
don't want to be slapped by a song. I don't know.
Fair enough, Bill. But in addition to that, you know, we have some tremendous events, and we're going to get to some of them in just a minute.
Awesome.
But I also wanted to take this time to just catch up to see where we are with some of the champions. We previously mentioned, you know, the tag team champions, the House of Pain, where they're at. Dustin Flash Waller capturing the Alley Fights Championship.
True.
But we briefly touched on the United States Championship earlier.
Yes, we did.
Zafar Al-Rahi, he is your new Paradise Alley Pro Wrestling United States Champion. He defeated Buzz Bloodsaw to get that championship title. Bill, I think that was a shocking result for a lot of people, myself included.
Yeah, you know, Bloodsaw had held that title for quite a long time, but, you know, you got to give it up to Zafar. You know, you saw him in the ring, trim, lean, and he does what he does. He's very... how shall we say, he's got a kind of a sinister tactician kind of work to him. And he got the title back, and that's what he wanted. He's been working on it for a while, and you know, unfortunately, he got the title. But I think we have some young people in our organization that might want to try to push him for that title. So
that we do. So stay tuned to see what happens in the United States title picture. And Bill, that was the only champion that had a problem with the collusion, pyramids of power dynamic here. The Intercontinental Champion, Bull Dread, was also involved, and I believe he teamed with Maxim Morozov, and that's when the whole, you know, we thought he was turning over a new leaf, but then chair shots and...
It just, I think we go back to it, the Morozov thing. You know, both you and I are very disappointed. Again, we thought there was a change of heart. You know, maybe he thought that, you know, maybe his life would be different on the other side. But you know what? He pulled the wool over our eyes. And, you know, you and I talked about that after the show. We were saying that that was probably one of the key things that came out, that, you know, there was a ton of excitement, but that was the only downturn for the show.
Right.
You know, not for him, though.
Not for him, certainly. And we'll see what happens. We'll see if Bull Dread and Buzz Bloodsaw still want to stay involved with the collusion, pyramids of power, alliance, collusion, whatever you want to call it, you know, cooperation, faction, what have you. But also, one title that was noticeably absent from our most recent events was the overall Paradise Alley Pro Wrestling Championship. Bill, I got an update from management.
Thank
As
God.
of right now, Vlad is still, unfortunately, not signed. There's still an impasse here. I don't know if it's over money. I don't know if what it is. You know, if it's the COVID has anything to do with it. But we're still hoping for a speedy resolution because we want Vlad in the Paradise Alley Pro Wrestling ring, and we want him to put that title on the line against the competitors that we have here that are vying for it.
So essentially what you're telling me and the fans, Matt, is that Vlad is holding the title hostage.
That is a great summary, Bill. I couldn't have said it better myself.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but I'm sure management is working on it diligently. And I think, again, when he comes back, I said he's going to have a number of competitors. And, let's see what'll happen in the next coming months. I think we're going to see some exciting things.
Absolutely. So there's some exciting things to look forward to with those 3 championships, not to mention the tag team champions, the House of Pain, and your new Alley Fights champion, Dustin Flash Waller. It's going to be a great year in 2021. And one of the other things that we're doing in 2021, Bill, is the return of the King of Paradise tournament. We are going to be having 16 competitors vying for the prestigious King of Paradise title. The previous winners, Nutrius X, he's gone on to win the Alley Fights Championship, former Intercontinental Champion, so the pedigree is there for a guy like Nutrius X.
Exactly.
Nick Delta, who was one of the best up-and-comers that we had at the time. He was last year's King of Paradise winner. He was. And unfortunately, because of the pandemic, he wasn't able to be here as much as we would have liked. Exactly. But still, the future is bright for a guy like Nick Delta. And the King of Paradise tournament, that can be a springboard for guys like that to get into even bigger places here at Paradise Alley Professional Wrestling.
Exactly. The tournament is always, how should I put it, there are things that happen in that tournament that you wouldn't expect. There are competitors that come in for that tournament that you don't normally see here. And the action is just tenacious at that point. And that tournament never disappoints anybody, and it's an absolute joy to be involved with it.
Absolutely. The competitors know just how prestigious winning that King of Paradise tournament is. So all the matches are guaranteed to be high octane, exciting. You definitely won't want to miss the 2021 King of Paradise tournament. 16 competitors vying for that crown. And Bill, we got plenty of more events lined up for 2021, do we not?
Oh, we do. I'm telling you, COVID is over, or it's in a place where we can go about our life in a normal way, so to speak. I think 21 is going to be a big year here.
Absolutely. And now, fans, take a look, because here are some of the other events that will be running in 2021. All right, fans, as you can see, Paradise Alley Professional Wrestling is gearing up for a big 2021. Bill, what are you most excited about to see?
I'm just excited to be able to get back in the ring, Matt, and do what we do very well as a ring announcer and as a referee. Amen to that. And folks, speaking of things that we do very well here, one of the things that I'm most excited about is that I am going to be having a new show. You? Well, you can be on it, Bill. Don't worry about it. I got to have you on it. My feelings are hurt. No, trust me. Don't touch me. Don't touch me ever again. All right, it seems I've offended referee Bill Thompson, folks. But either way, one thing that you can look forward to is a little show called After Hours. Wow. I will be the host of that. There will be Paradise Alley Pro Wrestling stars. There will be wrestlers that aren't necessarily regulars at Paradise Alley Professional Wrestling. They're going to be coming down. They're going to be talking with me. It's not going to be so much an interview show. We're going to be talking about things like what their thoughts are on the television products, what their philosophies are in the ring. Outstanding. What makes them, their personalities. And it's going to be very relaxed, going to be conversational. It's not going to be me asking 21 questions. And Bill, like I said, I got to get you on there at some point too, because we've got some stories to share. I'm sure we do, Matt. And we've traveled together before, so there's definitely a few stories there. Will there be food and drink on your show, Matt? Possibly. I was told that it might be okay to, have a little sip of a little bit of the bubbly as a certain big name star
star might say.
Oh, you don't want to be mentioned on that copyright infringement.
Exactly. I don't want to get demonetized if we're putting this on
There
YouTube.
you go.
So with that said, I may, partake in a little bit of that bubbly. I may not, but, we'll see. But either way, it's going to be a fun show. I'm definitely looking forward to it. And I certainly hope you, the fans, are looking forward to it too, because that's just another exciting thing that we have going on in 2021 here at Paradise Alley Professional Wrestling. And Bill, another thing that was just presented to me that we're doing here at PAPW is PAPW's very own Patreon account.
Wow, huge.
Absolutely. And folks, if you don't know what Patreon is, it's kind of like a subscription service. If you subscribe to the Patreon for Paradise Alley Professional Wrestling, you're going to see a lot of exclusive content. You're going to see some after-hours stuff, which I just mentioned. You're going to be able to see alley fights, exclusive matches, Paradise Alley Pro Wrestling events. There's a whole slew of things that you will have access to if you are subscribed to the Paradise Alley Pro Wrestling Patreon. Now, just a quick disclaimer, that is not live just yet. We're setting it up, but as soon as it drops, make sure you stay tuned to our social medias, at official PAPW on Twitter, at official_PAPW on Instagram, Paradise Alley Pro Wrestling on Facebook. We will have announcements coming on that very soon. And Bill, I think if you're a fan of Paradise Alley Pro Wrestling, that's going to be something that you want to subscribe to, that you should be really looking forward to, right?
It's huge. It's something that we've talked about for a better part of a year, is trying to get more information out to our fans. And you touched on it. If you're not involved in our social media for, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, that's where you're going to get the information, how to get to the live events. That's where you're going to get the information to really be able to see what's going on a daily basis at PAPW, and just learn more about the product and the upcoming events. So again, just a lot of great stuff coming from us for 2021.
Absolutely. And Bill, I'm glad you mentioned upcoming events, because now it is my pleasure, and I'm sure it's going to be Bill's pleasure as well, to reveal to you fans that we have an event January 2nd called Under the Radar.
Under it.
And as we mentioned earlier, unfortunately, we would love to have you, the fans, come to us to view this excellent event. But given the restrictions and things currently in place, that's not very possible right now, unfortunately. So what we did at Paradise Alley Pro Wrestling, we said if they can't come to us, we will bring the action to you. Okay. So we will not have fans in attendance. But Bill, just because there's going to be no fans in attendance doesn't mean that this event will not be Paradise Alley Pro Wrestling approved and the typical action, great matches that you're accustomed to at Paradise Alley Professional Wrestling.
Yeah, this is, again, something that we've talked about for a while. It's one of the things that, we love, and we appreciate the fans, but unfortunately right now we're not able to do the things that we want to do, and that's just the way it is. But a lot of thought and a lot of energy has been put into this, as we always do. And we felt we needed to really get this content out so that everybody still sees the stars that they see and get to enjoy that. And it's going to be it's going to be a big event here, like everything else is. We either go big or we go home.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And, we know from experience, Bill, that, we've done some empty arena matches before, such as the Intercontinental Championship match between Bull Dread and Big Jim Anderson.
Yes.
I think it was actually probably better that the fans weren't there for that one, because there might have been some collateral damage.
I almost wish I wasn't there during the whole match. But
you and me both. I'll never forget. I was hiding in the corner for part of it over there.
I think you were crying in the corner.
I might have been, folks. Not very proud to admit that, but nonetheless. So that's the thing. You never know what to expect with Paradise Alley Professional Wrestling. We could see brutal matches like that one. We could see more contained matches like you're used to seeing with fans in attendance. But that's the thing. You got to tune in and find out. And folks, I guarantee you, it won't disappoint.
No, we never disappoint.
Absolutely. So, Bill, is there anything else? Or do you think we've covered all the bases here?
I think we've covered quite a bit, Matt. I don't know. It's like, it's the holiday season. So, people have a lot on their plate, but I think we've given them a pretty good amount of information just to get them started going into the new year.
Absolutely, folks. So, once again, from everyone here at Paradise Alley Professional Wrestling, we wish you a very happy holidays. Have fun. Stay safe. Make sure you subscribe to @officialPAPW on Twitter, @official_PAPW on Instagram, and Paradise Alley Pro Wrestling on Facebook. ParadiseAlleyProWrestling.com, our official website. and Paradise Alley Pro Wrestling on YouTube, because we're going to have all those announcements, posting more information than what we already gave you today here on those sites. You're going to want to stay tuned because we've got a big year in 2021 coming up. Am I right, Bill?
I'm just exhausted listening to that. That's amazing. So.
It took a little bit to memorize that, folks. I got to be honest. But anyway, once again, everybody, stay safe, stay healthy, and we will see you in 2021.